Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to share a story that's incredibly close to my heart. It's a story about choices, about love, and about finding your own path, even when it's not the one everyone expects. This is the story of how I, a former campus girl with big academic dreams, ended up having the most beautiful traditional African wedding. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. She dropped out of university? What happened? And that's a fair question. Let me take you back a few years. I was at university, completely immersed in my studies. I loved learning, I really did. My head was buried in books, my future mapped out with degrees and a career path that seemed so clear. I was on the right track, the one society applauds. But then, something unexpected happened. I met someone. His name is David. And no, this isn't one of those stories where the girl throws everything away for a boy. It was much more profound than that. Meeting David was like finding a missing piece of myself I didn't even know was gone. He saw me, the real me, beyond the grades and the ambition. He saw the girl who loved her culture, who cherished her family's stories, and who dreamt of a life filled with laughter and community. Being with him made me start asking myself some tough questions. Was the path I was on truly making me happy? Or was I just chasing a version of success that someone else had defined for me? The more I thought about it, the more I realized my heart was pulling me in a different direction. It was a scary realization. Leaving university felt like a monumental failure. I worried about disappointing my parents, my professors, and honestly, myself. The decision wasn't made overnight. It involved countless sleepless nights, long, tearful conversations with my family, and a whole lot of soul-searching. My parents were understandably concerned. They had invested so much in my education. But when they saw the genuine happiness and peace I found with David, and when they understood that I wasn't giving up on life, but rather choosing a different kind of life, they began to understand. They saw that my new dream was to build a home, a family, and to reconnect with our roots in a way that my academic life hadn't allowed. And that brings us to the wedding. Once we decided to get married, we knew it couldn't be just any wedding. We wanted it to be a celebration of everything we stood for: our love, our families, and our beautiful heritage. We decided to have a fully traditional ceremony, honoring the customs that have been passed down through generations. Planning it was an adventure in itself. It wasn't about picking venues and caterers from a magazine. It was about sitting with our elders, listening to their wisdom, and understanding the deep meaning behind every single ritual. It started with the lobola, or bride price negotiations. Now, for those unfamiliar, this isn't about buying a bride. It's a beautiful symbolic gesture of uniting two families. It is a sign of respect and an acknowledgement of the value and love my family poured into raising me. Seeing our fathers and uncles, dressed in their traditional attire, sitting together and sharing wisdom and laughter as they discussed our union, was one of the most moving moments of my life. It was about building bridges, not just a transaction. Then came the preparations for the ceremony itself. My aunts and the women in the community became my guides. They taught me the traditional songs and dances that we would perform. They helped me select the fabrics for my gowns, vibrant, colorful textiles, each with its own story and significance. We're not talking about a simple white dress here. I had multiple outfits. Each one was handcrafted, beaded with intricate patterns that told a story of our lineage and our tribe. Trying on that first gown, feeling the weight of the beads and the richness of the fabric, I felt more connected to my ancestors and my identity than ever before. I wasn't just a bride. I was a daughter of my people. The wedding day itself was magical. It wasn't a quiet, formal affair. It was a festival of life. The entire village came out to celebrate. The air was filled with the sound of drums beating in perfect rhythm, the joyous ululations of the women, and the deep, resonant voices of the men singing songs of celebration. It was a sensory explosion of color, sound, and pure, unadulterated joy. One of my favorite moments was the welcoming ceremony. As David's family officially welcomed me into their home, it wasn't just a formality. The women from his side wrapped me in a special blanket, a symbol of their acceptance, love, and protection. At that moment, I knew I wasn't just gaining a husband, I was gaining a whole new family, a community that would stand by me. We danced, we feasted on traditional foods that had been prepared for days, and we listened as the elders shared blessings and advice for our future. Every single part of the day was steeped in meaning. Looking back, do I have regrets about leaving university? Honestly, no. I realized that education isn't confined to the four walls of a lecture hall. My wedding, my marriage, and the life I am building now have taught me so much more about love, community, identity, and resilience than any textbook ever could. I learned the language of my ancestors, the recipes of my grandmothers, and the wisdom of my elders. That is an education in itself. Choosing this path wasn't easy, and it might not be the right path for everyone. But for me, it was the path to true happiness and fulfillment. I found a different kind of success. It's a success measured not by degrees or job titles, but by the strength of my family, the richness of my culture, and the depth of the love I share with my husband. It's about knowing who you are and where you come from. This journey has taught me that it's okay to rewrite your story. It's okay if your dreams change. The most important thing is to be true to yourself and to build a life that brings you peace and joy, whatever that may look like. My traditional wedding wasn't an ending to my old life. It was the beautiful, vibrant beginning of my real one. Thank you so much for letting me share this personal story with you all. I hope it inspires you to follow your own heart, wherever it may lead. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and be true to you.